I know both of you five are good sportsmanship now. We have nothing on that score that has shown. I want a nice, clean contest. You're both acquainted with the rules. I want you to watch your body blows. And don't shake hands after you go to your corner. Now, that's plain. And I insist upon a clean break. And I know that I'm not going to have that trouble here tonight. Now, the best of luck to the both of you. And shake hands now. And tomorrow's protecting yourself at that bell.
Wait a minute.
Okay? All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Take it.
So 1936 then, Yankee Stadium, New York, Joe Louis against Max Schmeling, the former heavyweight champion of the world, former European light heavyweight champion, and German heavyweight champion. Not too hard to tell these two apart. Joe Louis, of course, with that thin stripe down his shorts, a very economical mover, very hard puncher, and something of a legend in heavyweight terms. Referee Arthur Donovan. Schmeling walked into a left hook. Max Schmeling then very cautiously coming forward here. His body's bent backwards to try and avoid any potential counter-punch from Joe Louis. Louis comes into this fight with 27 wins and no defeats, and 23 of those wins by knockout. Max Schmeling comes in with 48 wins, 7 losses, 4 draws and 34 knockouts. He's already tasted what it feels like to be a European and, of course, a world champion, recognised by the New York State Athletic Commission. This one's scheduled for 15 rounds. So the end of round one, and not a great deal between them. Into round two we go, and Joe Louis, despite a fairly close first round, probably took the honours. And Max Schmeling, once again, that very pulled-back style, if you like. So we had the brown bomber against the black Ulan from Brandenburg in Germany. 30 years of age, Max Schmeling. Joe Louis, a tender age of 22. Louis born in Lafayette, Alabama. And he's brilliantly put together, Joe Louis. Compact. Not too tall, not too short for a heavyweight at 6'2". Schmeling 6'1", lands a right. Well, what happened there? So, cracking punch that from Max Schmeling a moment ago. Catching Louis on the jaw. And Joe Louis is a new breed of fighter. Very compact. Very hard punching. Max Schmeling, of course, much more of a throwback to the old days with his style. Also, of course, 6-ounce gloves being worn. Round three it is. And this bout was delayed because of rain in New York. Oh. And Joe Louis, an overwhelming favourite to win this. Max Schmeling there has a taste of success and tries to capitalise. And that ramrod jab of Louis is absolutely perfect. Joe Louis really does pick his punches very well. Mindful of defence at the same time. Watch that right hand of his pick off the jab of Schmeling. Schmeling trying the same tactic, but not with anything like as much success. So after flirting with success here, Schmeling now back in the passenger seat. And Joe Louis misses with very, very few punches. If he throws it, it's because it's going to land. Again, a good jab there from Joe. Follows up the double. And it's such a fight winner, the left hand. And he's got this impassive look on his face, Louis, hasn't he? And this has been an excellent round so far for Joe Louis. So an excellent round there for Joe Louis. Superb. Into round 4 we go. Arthur Donovan, by the way, the referee, actually refereed Joe Louis' fight, his 4th round knockout of Max Baer. A few fights ago. Also refereed his bout with Primo Carnera, the ambling Alp, who Louis beat in 6. And coming into this one, there's been some pretty decent form on the record of Max Schmeling. More of that a wee bit later, hopefully. So round 3 then was a bit of beautiful boxing from Joe Louis. And Max Schmeling knows he needs to raise his game. Right hand, and he's got Louis in all sorts of trouble. Joe Louis absolutely froze on the spot there from a crunching right hand, and he's down. Joe Louis is down in round 4 and looking all over the place. So an opportunity here then for Max Schmeling to win. Sometimes very, very hard to catch a wounded man, as Louis is. Joe Louis there coming back strongly. But he was caught with a peach of a punch there from Schmeling. And Schmeling looking to repeat that now. So an excellent round there for Schmeling ultimately. Louis pulled himself off the floor. And this is the slow motion replay of that crunching right hand. There you saw the legs turn to jelly. He tried to get out of the way. Schmeling was on him like a cat. And then this big punch. Teed him up the left hand, landed the right. And another one that sent Louis down heavily. Schmeling tried to follow up and repeat that knockdown, but Louis very sensibly grabbed hold of him for a few seconds before referee Donovan split them up. Into round 5 we go then of the scheduled 15-round contest, and well, Joe Louis sprints out of his corner and he wants to pay back Schmeling for that knockdown. It's ironic on paper. It does look as if Joe Louis got the edge here. He beat Maxi Baer. Maxi Baer beat Max Schmeling. Oh, good punch again here. Well, Joe Louis took that one very well. I don't think it landed with absolute impact, but Max Schmeling is feeling very good about himself at the moment. He is on a cloud here. A crunching right hand, of course, and some very good punches in the previous round, one in the session. And despite Louis sprinting out for this 5th, he's already taken a couple of good shots from Schmeling. Worth also reminding you that Max Schmeling had an excellent win over the former terrific middleweight champion, Mickey Walker. Also fought Jack Sharkey a couple of times, winning one and losing one. Well, honours about even in this 5th round. Overall, that is. So Max Schmeling knows he has a good right hand, knows it bothers Joe Louis, and looks to land it again. But Louis almost impassive, isn't he? The expression on his face hasn't changed. Oh, decent right there from Louis a moment ago. Takes one back. So round 6 then. Louis on the floor in round 4. Came into this one an overwhelming favourite to win it. Maybe was just a wee bit overconfident. And there have been severe tensions, of course, between Germany and the rest of the world. And this is seen as America against Germany, not Schmeling against Louis. So Louis then backing Schmeling up here in round 6. Oh, good right hand again, and Louis there stung by Schmeling. And again the right hand from Schmeling. And the German fans ambivalent about Max Schmeling. He's a German with a Jewish manager. Round 7 about to toll. And Joe Louis there caught with some terrific right hands from Max Schmeling in round 6. Both men sparring for openings here. Trying to make their opponent make a mistake, leave a gap. And it doesn't take long, does it, for one punch to sip through that gap. What an interesting body shot there from Joe Louis a moment ago. Twisted nicely into it. And obviously thinks that that's an opportunity of getting rid of Schmeling with the body shot. Hard to nail to the head, of course, Max Schmeling here, because of that lean-back style he has. And, of course, Louis now very well aware of that vaunted right hand of the German. Going to work on the inside from Louis. And of course, every good move that Louis makes is wildly cheered by this American crowd. And this is a good round now for Joe Louis. Into round 8 we go. And Joe Louis beginning to come on now after a good start. The first half of the fight was clearly Max Schmeling's, but Louis has begun to emerge. The body punch has worked. And of course his busy action, punches from both hands, head and body, they've also done the business. And that's what he needs to do, stick nice and close to Schmeling, push him back and unload punches at the same time. It's something really that Schmeling can't cope with. And of course, the only knockdown of the fight so far scored by Schmeling in the 4th. So despite anything that Joe Louis does, he must always be mindful of defence. This is the way Joe Louis needs to do it. Stick nice and close, it's paying off for him. And of course he stands back. Schmeling does have an opportunity of landing that right hand. But he's a very intelligent fighter, Louis. Comes into this one with a 27-fight unbeaten record with 23 knockouts. And that's, of course, more impressive than the former champion, Max Schmeling, who's won 48, lost 7, and drawn 4. But he has scored 34 knockouts. Well, there's an apology there from these two men. And by and large, it's been a sporting contest, this, despite the feelings of the crowd, both in America and Germany. So round 9. And Joe Louis has had a good couple of rounds in his belt. Schmeling needs to recapture the form of previous rounds. But Louis looking decent. Doesn't waste an inch, does he? Doesn't bounce around the ring. Doesn't throw superfluous punches. Nice right again, though, from Max. Good right there again from Max Schmeling. And Louis felt that, takes another. And again. And it's just a major surprise that the Max Schmeling doesn't let these punches go more often. Possibly trying to lure Joe Louis into a false sense of security. And every time Joe Louis relaxes, bingo. A big right hand lands. So Schmeling then looking to become the first man to beat Louis in the professional ranks. Well, that was an interesting left hook there from Schmeling and the right hand. And I've got to say here, Louis looked very bothered by that, but he's still on his feet. Round 10 of this scheduled 15 rounds, and Schmeling zips out of his corner. Louis very slow to get off the stool. And those right hands have taken their toll. Takes another. The German is strong. He's committed. He wants to win this, but then again, so does Louis. He's got an undefeated record to protect. And Schmeling has something of a legend to beat. And once again, these hard punches from Max Schmeling causing all sorts of discomfort for Joe Louis. His legs have shaken several times in this fight, Louis. Schmeling is a man who punches his weight. Max Schmeling probably realising he can't come to America and expect a points win. Well, backhander there from Louis. Something he wasn't averse to, by the way. He would stick his thumb in the opponent's eye, use the heel of the glove to squash their nose. Good shot. It's these little right hands from Schmeling that sap away at the energy of Louis. Misses there with the right. Takes one back. Quite a subtle around this one, not much between them. And it's clear to everyone, except possibly Joe Louis, that Schmeling's got the intention of landing just one punch, and that's the right cross. Mark Blackburn, the trainer in Louis' corner, has spotted what we can all see. The right hand from Schmeling is the danger punch. But Louis' left hand is very low. He's almost inviting it. Oh, Joe looking slow. Round 11. And Joe Louis looked a bit slow and ponderous at the end of round 10. He was pushing out his left hand instead of snapping it out. And he certainly felt the weight of Schmeling's punches in this particular fight. They've not just sapped the strength of Joe Louis, they've sapped the speed as well. The energy has flowed away from him. Looks like Max Makotter's got Schmeling in good shape for this. He looks awfully lively, doesn't he? And that's a bigger worry, of course, to Joe Louis. Nothing he's tried so far has dented the German's ambition here. So does Louis think he's just got to get through the 15 rounds to get the verdict? Would it be a formality? I don't think so. But he's fighting like that, isn't he? Into round 12 then of the scheduled 15-rounder. And Joe Louis not looking his old self. Undefeated fighter, of course, against the hard-punching German Max Schmeling. Louis on the floor in round 4. Oh, good right again there from Schmeling. A good left hook to the body, almost by Joe Louis. Referee though says that one landed low on the hip. Well, one of the few spells of infighting in this particular fight. And it's the left hand ready from Joe Louis that needs to be pumping. And I suspect he's underrated Max Schmeling. And possibly overrated the bookmakers' odds. Oh, crunching right again here from Schmeling, and again. Joe Louis staggers back into the ropes. Schmeling tries to unload once again with that vaulted right hand of his, and Louis not right. His legs are still a wee bit rubbery. Yes, his legs are certainly not right. And takes another crunching right hand from the German. Well, this impassive look on Louis' face hides a scrambled mind as he goes again from a lovely right hand. Will he beat the count here into round 12 is the question. He shakes his head. He can't beat the count. Surely it's all over. So Max Schmeling wins via knockout at the Yankee Stadium, trying to drag Joe Louis off the floor there. A very unwise move by Schmeling. So victorious then in the first defeat on the Joe Louis record. After 27 straight losses, he loses in a 12th round knockout defeat to Max Schmeling of Germany. Terrific win from Max Schmeling and unexpected against the undefeated Joe Louis.